What's up, guys? Pastor Rob here with another reaction video. Got Dr. Purvis to come back on.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, we did the last one, the Shine Down song.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, this is a song by Disturbed
Yeah, it's a cover.
of
The Sound of Silence,
by
Simon and Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, song that's almost actually a little older than I am. I think it came out in 1963. So
pretty old.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Yeah. So I actually grew up with this song and know it very well, but I have never heard this version of it. So I'm excited about listening.
Well, I'm excited too. I've heard the Simon and Garfunkel version. As a matter of fact, I remember hearing Simon and Garfunkel when I was a kid, and I just couldn't get Garfunkel out of my head.
Yeah.
Interesting name.
Yeah. Interesting guy too.
Yeah. I don't know much about them. I do know an interesting factoid about the song, that the album, this was on their very first album, and it tanked, and they had separated.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons it became as popular as it did was actually from a movie, The Graduate. Great movie. If you've never seen it, it's an older movie, obviously, old Dustin Hoffman movie. And the director wanted to use Simon and Garfunkel's music as part of the soundtrack, and it actually, to be honest with you, sort of became a character in the movie. The music of several of their songs are used throughout that movie. It's a great movie. The songs actually enhance the movie in a lot of really neat ways, and that's what actually catapulted it into the position that it has held since
I had
then.
read that they were performing as Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry at one point, yeah. Isn't that weird?
And they recorded this album. It tanked. They went their separate ways. Paul Simon moved wherever he moved. And some DJs in Florida and Boston was what I had read.
Yeah.
Had actually added some music to it. Had Bob Dylan and Bob Dylan's band add some music to it or something like that. That's what I read. Yeah. I don't know. Comment if you can verify or know anything about this. But yeah, and so they started spinning it, and it gained popularity, and it hit the charts. And Paul Simon found out by reading about it.
Yeah.
So I found out. So then they came back together, recorded their next album, which was hit, and the rest is history.
Yeah, they used it for The Graduate, and it just took off after that.
I've never seen The Graduate.
Yeah, it's a great movie if you ever get a chance to see it.
I will. I was barely a graduate myself.
Yeah.
Well, as usual, we're going to look at this song objectively without the typical Christian prejudice, and kind of maybe talk about the lyrics at the end if you're up for it.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. Now, the name Disturbed already sounds disturbing.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know the one song where they go, what do they do, Gage? Whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
It's like growling stuff. I don't know. I used to hear it on job sites when I did construction.
Growling's one of my favorite types of music. So
is it?
I need to try to.
Is that really your favorite?
No, of course not. Not at all. I just was trying to think of something to say since I don't know who Disturbed is. So.
All right. Well, let's.
I hear good things. I mean, I hear that they're pretty good if you like that type of music. So
we're about to find out if you like the type of music.
I am interested to see. Here's the interesting thing about doing covers, is when you do a cover, especially a cover of a really famous song. And like I said, I grew up with this song. I can't remember a time in my life where it didn't exist. And when you do a cover of a famous song, you just don't want to sound like you're just doing another version of it, kind of like. If you listen to the cover and the only thing you can think of is, I want to hear the original, then you probably didn't do a really good job of covering the song. And I know sometime back, Madonna did a cover of American Pie, which was just terrible.
Did she?
By the way, yeah, it was terrible. And all it made me want to do was go back and listen to the original version. Of course, American Pie is a classic, and so all it did was maybe want to. But then you hear covers from people, and sometimes they cover their own stuff with something different, and it ends up being really cool.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs of all time is by U2, One. I love that song. I think it's one of the best songs ever written. And then I found out that they did a cover of the song with Mary J. Blige. And when I first heard that she was going to be on the song, I was thinking, you're going to absolutely ruin it. This is a perfect song.
I'm surprised you know who Mary J. Blige was.
Yeah, I know who Mary J. Blige is. And so I listened to it. I had my preconceived ideas that it was going to be terrible. Then I listened to it, and it is outstanding, almost because it sounds like it's not even the same song. It's just a different version of the same song. So I'm curious to see what Disturbed is going to do with a very melancholy song.
Yeah,
it really is.
It makes me think of, and I'm hoping it's like when Faith No More redid Easy by Lionel Richie.
No, I've never heard that.
What?
Yeah.
We got to do a video on that. We're going to do it today.
Or when Dynamite Hat covered Boys in the Hood.
What? Wait, you know what Boys in the Hood is?
I do. I like that song.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
You think you know somebody.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily saying I like the lyrics. Sure. I mean, the language.
Yeah, the Eazy-E t-shirt?
Yeah, no, I don't have that. But Dynamite Hack, who was this group in the 90s, and I don't think they even exist anymore, did a really interesting cover of Boys in the Hood, almost like a Simon and Garfunkel folk song.
Oh, that's great.
It's hilarious.
I got to hear it.
It's outstanding.
So now we have two new songs to do right out the gate.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Dynamite Hack's version, censored version of Boys in the Hood. Right. But I'm looking forward to see what Disturbed is.
Well, let's see if this holds up to what we're hoping.
Sure.
Really cool visuals.
Yeah, starting out kind of slow though.
Come on, this is a show. Nice.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound.
Look at his face. He's got piercings.
Yes, he does.
Like it hurts.
I'm actually thinking about doing the same thing.
Narrow streets of cobblestone.
I like that sort of noir look. Is that a drum?
I turn my collar to the cold and damp when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night.
It's really good.
And touch the sound of silence.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit if there weren't so many fingerprints on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
10,000 people, maybe more.
Like how it's building.
People talking without speaking.
That's interesting.
People hearing without listening. People writing songs.
That's beautiful.
And voices never shared.
That's got a lot of range, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know.
Nice.
Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms and I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops fell.
Guitar is nice.
Echoed in the wells of silence, and the people bowed in prayer.
Wow.
To the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning, and the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, in tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
It's got some pipes on it.
That gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Hair standing. That's a cool shot. I love how they built the end.
Yeah.
And let it fall.
Great version of that song, by the way.
What'd you think of it?
I really liked it a lot. And I will tell you, this would be anathema. I don't think anybody could ever say when you have a song that's a classic and you hear a cover version later, especially when somebody from a different entire genre of music, that you'd say it's better than the original. I would say I'm not a huge fan of folk music. I never have been, and the original, obviously, when Simon and Garfunkel were in that vein of folk music. And so I like the reimagining of the song. In that way, kind of building to that crescendo at the end, which was very cool. The original song is pretty much stays the same throughout the entire. Pretty mellow the whole time. I will tell you, I think that this is if people have never listened to the words, it's a really sad song. It's a really kind of dark, hopeless song. And I always thought that Simon and Garfunkel's version didn't make it sound dark enough.
It's pretty dark.
The music never. To me, it never matched the atmosphere that I think the song is trying to create. It does it in a nicer way. These guys did it in a not so nice way.
Yeah,
to really show that. I agree. I think they did a better job of conveying the darkness of the song than I think the Simon and Garfunkel version did. I really do. It's excellent. Very good. Yeah, I'm surprised I like it as well as I did.
Yeah, I certainly enjoyed it, and it's a good song because I was reading a little bit about the background of the song, because that's pretty important to me as I approach a song for the first time. And they were saying that Paul Simon had a dream about 10,000 people worshiping a God made out of neon lights.
Yeah.
And that God sort of represented like this fake pop culture.
It's amazing he was able to see that in 1963. This song is more poignant now than it was then. It's really amazing that he was able to communicate when he talks about the people talking without speaking and listening without hearing. To me, the song has always sort of represented, especially now that we're in the culture that we're in with the technology that we have. We have never been more connected technologically and yet further apart socially than we've ever been.
Like a neon light.
He was able to see that in 1963, which I think is when the song came out. He was able to see that in 1963 when it's probably more poignant than it is now. And one of the favorite visuals in the song is when he talks about the people praying to the neon god they made. And of course, nobody uses neon anymore. And, we got LEDs and all this other stuff. But the picture is that we have this culture that is almost worshiping the not specifically technology, even though that's a part of it. I think why he used neon, he used that visual there. But this idea that as a culture we're getting away from engaging with each other and engaging with things, or this ideal of things. And my goodness, are we there now or not? We do what our devices tell us to do. What happens when our phone dings? We pick it up and check. It is telling us what to do. Yeah. It makes a noise. We grab and do something we would not have normally done if not for that. And I know that's not what he had in mind at the time, clearly.
Sure.
But that's the mark of a great song, is that
it's timeless.
It is, absolutely. And probably more appropriate now than it wasn't, to be honest with you, in 1963.
And it'll probably continue
to be so. Yeah. That's exactly right. This is why I think it has the longevity that it has. Ultimately, I think, though, it is a hopeless song. There's not really any hope in the song. And that's okay. Some people just express their melancholy, or they express their pessimism or cynicism, or some people would say realistic view of the way people are holding. And so that's really one of the downsides to things like this, is that it's sort of a hopeless song and doesn't give any hope at all. And
leaves us hopeless.
It's what it seems like to me. I don't see anything in the song that even remotely seems to suggest that there's a way out of this, that it is sort of our destiny to continue to get worse and worse and worse in this scenario.
But we have an answer.
Well, absolutely we do. That's the cool thing about it. That's why I love, people saying,
we have a voice that cries loud.
Well, here's the interesting thing about it. You and I, we've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with others, and you'll have, as believers, you'll have some group of people, and I'm not saying they're wrong. This is one of those things that I think it's a matter of conscience, which, by the way, there are a lot of things in Christianity that are a matter of conscience. Most people don't know that. But I've met a lot of people say, we should not do anything but listen to Christian music. Look, if you look on my iPhone, if you look on my iPod, I have probably 5 to 1 secular songs to Christian songs.
You're off. Shut his mic down.
If the Christian songs were better, then maybe I would probably listen to them.
That's a good point.
But the reality is we just don't put out that good of stuff.
Good point.
I mean, the verbiage is fine. The words are fine. I got that. I understand that. But I'm not of that ilk that says that as a believer, I can't enjoy the artistic or aesthetic value that a song brings, but I'm also able to see it through a prism that prior to coming to faith in Christ that I never saw before, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it filters out
exactly.
some of the lies.
I came to faith in Christ when I was 20 years old. So I heard this song for years before I ever became a believer. And like with everything else, it completely changed once that happened. Once my mind was transformed, once my heart was transformed, I was able to see that in a different way, where it was a hopeless song before. I still saw that hopelessness, but I see it now in the shadow of the cross. I see it now in the shadow that there is hope out there.
Amen.
And that is not being portrayed in this song. And there is not this complete hopelessness. So that part has been really cool. It's I like to quote C.S. Lewis a lot because he was a very smart guy and great thinker. He said once that I believe in Christianity as I believe the sun when it rises. Not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else, which is one of those things I wish I had said. I know you're not supposed to covet, but I covet that quote. I really wish I had said that. But he's exactly right. When you come to faith in Christ, when you have that magnetic north, when you have that access to the truth, it shines the light on everything else. So I may have, as an 18-year-old or 15-year-old, listen to that song with hopelessness. As a believer, I look and still see the same hopelessness, but now I know there's an answer to the hopelessness, an antidote to the hopelessness that I never saw before, and that's what makes it so cool. So I think we can enjoy these things. I mean, there's some things I don't listen to. I'm just not going to. Yeah. That's okay. And my filter is probably drastically different than a lot of other people. It's different from yours.
Some people are affected differently by the
That's exactly right.
Sound.
That's exactly right.
I mean, just the growling sound that we talked about in the beginning could turn somebody. I'm not
it could immediately, or you talked about hip hop before. You have that kind of background. Sometimes immediately when you hear that, you start hearing that music, you will automatically tune out whatever comes after that. I do like to try to give people a chance, even if it's a type of my music variety is very eclectic. I like all kinds of stuff, and even some of that stuff. You know,
you were quoting NWA or Eazy-E.
Yeah. You know, I've listened to some of that stuff. I don't make a habit out of it. It's not something I
do. You listen to it during sermon preparation?
I do, absolutely. No. It helps my sermon preparation. But you bring up a good point. Was one of the classic complaints against Christianity, and there are a lot of them, and some of them are well deserved by the practitioners, not by the faith itself, but by the misappropriation of the faith, the way we describe the faith, the way we describe the teaching, and some of it's well deserved. Criticism is well deserved, and I got that. I understand that. But one of the things that people will say is, you guys are always, they're talking about sermon. We don't need a sermon. We don't have. What do you think this song was? The song was a 3-minute sermon. So is every song, movie, book, television show, poem, short story, novel.
They're presenting their worldview, their ideas,
they are communicating
their doctrine,
a
their
message.
theology.
That's exactly right. Every time you go to a movie theater, you are listening to a sermon. Now, it's sometimes the message is lost in the superheroes and the space battles and all of the other entertainment stuff. But I hope nobody out there doesn't misunderstand this. That when they are reading something, when they're listening to a song, when they go to a movie, they are listening to a sermon being preached by the director of that movie, the writer of that song, the performer of that song.
They have an agenda.
Absolutely,
when they put the movie together.
Why do it? Why are you going to do it if you're not going to communicate a message?
That's what art does.
Every movie, that's exactly right. Every movie has a message. Every song has a message. And what I like to do is listen to it. If I can appreciate it from an aesthetic standpoint, an artistic standpoint, I'm all over that. Even if I don't agree with the message, which 99.9% of the time from secular music, I'm not going to. That's okay. I can appreciate what they're trying to do.
Right.
I can understand what they're trying to say.
Your discernment too.
It does, exactly.
And it
if I hear something,
some of the truth that the Bible says about the world.
It does. Yes, it does. Absolutely. It confirms it. In that sense. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not, please don't misunderstand. I'm not telling all believers to go out and start listening to Disturbed. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is from a believer standpoint, from a Christian standpoint, we have a matter of conscience in that as long as we are not engaging in sin ourselves or encouraging somebody else to engage in sin, then I think it's fair game. I mean, there's, like I said, there's certain things I will not listen to. There's certain things I will not watch, and there's certain things I will not read. And I think there are some blanket ones where you can say, be honest with you, nobody should be listening to this stuff. Nobody should be reading this stuff, and nobody should be watching this stuff. I think there are a few of those things out there that are very clearly so bad that they have nothing but a corrupting influence. But I think that's in the far minority, to be honest with you. I think the vast majority of folks who do this kind of thing, who write these songs, they're just trying to find their way in the world. And they're most of the time they're looking in the wrong direction. They're looking at themselves, or they're looking at the philosophies of the world, all done by human beings, which means they're all frail, they're all ultimately wrong. Why would I do that? And so, but I can appreciate what they're trying to do. I love this song. I love the cover. It's a great cover.
Well, good. I enjoyed the song as well. Again, Dr. Purvis, thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. I had a great time.
I don't remember if I mentioned it on the front end, but Dr. Purvis is the pastor of Harmony Community Church, which is a church I'm youth pastor at, as well as he's my mentor. And we host a show together on Growth Project Radio. You can find it at growthproject.org if you want more information on that. We're going to do some more videos in the future. Danny seems to enjoy this.
Oh, sure.
As a matter of fact, Danny, I'm putting you on the spot here.
Sure.
Do you have time to do easy? We don't have to critique it. We're just going to listen to it. I want you to hear it.
You mean like right now?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stop it, download it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
All right. I just want to show it to you because it's a song I really enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to take a look at it.
All right. Good. So again, thank you guys for joining us. If you have any comments, song suggestions, or anything you want to say to us, you can comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Shoot us an email at connect@growthproject.org or email danny@growthproject.org, as well as I have a bunch of links down in the description.
But send all your hate mail to Robert.
To Danny, please. I get enough hate mail. I'm the one that reads all the comments. And we read them all. So thank you so much for leaving them. We appreciate all the support that you've given us, all the love, even the hate, because the hate helps us shape the thing and make it a little better. So we appreciate that as well. So we'll see you on the next video.